I faintly remember where I first became acquainted with the lady Ligeia. Much time has elapsed, and my memory is feeble through much suffering. The character of my beloved, her rare learning, her singular yet placid cast of beauty, and the thrilling and enthralling eloquence of her low, musical language intoxicated me. Yet I believe I first met her at an old theater, and what I witnessed on stage was more enthralling than anything I had ever experienced before or since. Ligeia. It is by that sweet word alone that I bring before mine eyes the image of her who is no more. And yet it was this alluring tone of her voice, that siren-like sweetness, that imprisoned my soul.
Lo, 'tis a gala night within the lonesome latter years. An angel throng bewinged, bedight, in veils and drowned in tears. Sit in a theater to see a play of hopes and fears.
Never had I heard such precious melodies. These melodies were like the radiance of an opium dream. In beauty of face, no maiden ever equaled her. It was an airy and spirit-lifting vision, more wildly divine than the fantasies which hovered about the slumbering daughters of Delos. Of all the women whom I have ever known, she, the outwardly calm, the ever placid Ligeia, was the most violently a prey of an unnamed and nefarious passion. And of such passion I could form no estimate, save by the miraculous expansion of those eyes, which at once so delighted and appalled me. For eyes, we have no models in the remotely antique. It might have been, too, that in these eyes of my beloved lay some unknown secret, now forever lost. They were, I must believe, far larger than the ordinary eyes of our own race. They were even fuller than the fullest of the gazelle eyes of the tribe of the Valley of Nur Jahad. Yet it was only in moments of intense excitement that this peculiarity became more than slightly noticeable in Ligeia.
Forgive me, my lady. I heard singing.
I was giving a private concerto. It was for my benefactor and his wife. They are both gone now. I love to unlock myself with my own voice. When I can't sing, I become a prisoner inside, trapped, suffocating.
You sing beautifully. I've never heard anything quite like it before in my life. Nor do I think I will again from this night.
You are very kind.
I did not mean to interrupt your memorial. Please forgive my intrusion.
I wouldn't mind at all if you wished to stay. That is, if you want to.
I would be honored, miss.
Ligeia.
I am honored to meet your acquaintance, Ligeia.
Ave Regina Celorum, Ave Domina Angelorum, Salve Radi, Salve Porta, ex mundo lux es orta, Gaude Virgo gloriosa, super omnes speciosa, Valeo valde decora, et pro nobis Christam exora.
The alluring tone of thy voice can make the most abominable sin seem the greatest of all spiritual pleasures.
Noster mortalis est, non est peccatum, est lyra est deorum. Our love is not sin, it is the lyre of the gods. A lyre that entwines our souls like two strings plucked by a jealous Apollo.
Nowhere, but in the graceful medallions of the Hebrews have I beheld a similar perfection.
In stature, she was tall, somewhat slender, yet her features were not of that regular mold which we've been falsely taught to worship by the labors of the heathen. I have tried in vain to detect the irregularity and trace home my own perception of her strangeness. I examined the contour of the lofty and pale forehead. It was faultless. How cold indeed that word when applied to someone so divine. The skin, rivaling the purest ivory, the gentle prominence of the regions above the temples, and then the glossy, the luxuriant, the raven-black tresses of her hair. I regarded the sweet mouth. Here, indeed, was the triumph of all things heavenly.
Halt thy affections, my love, only at the appointed hour.
I scrutinized the formation of the chin, and found her gentleness of breadth, her softness, her majesty, her fullness likened to the spirituality of the Greek mythos, which the gods only reveal to men in dreams. It was in moments such as these that Ligeia's beauty passed into my spirit, there dwelling inside me like a shrine. I saw not then what I now clearly perceive, that the knowledge of Ligeia was gigantic, astounding. Yet I was aware of her infinite supremacy, to resign myself with childlike confidence to her loving and tender guidance during the early years of our marriage. I have never known the paternal name of her who was my friend and my betrothed. Was it a playful charge on the part of my Ligeia, or was it rather a caprice of my own, a wildly romantic offering on the shrine of the most passionate devotion?
But see amid the mimic rout a crawling shape and true, a blood-red thing that writhes from out the scenic solitude. It writhes with mortal pangs, the mimes become its food, and seraphs sob at vermin fangs in human gore imbued. motley drama, oh, be sure it shall not be forgot, with its phantom chased forevermore by a crowd that sees it not, through a circle that ever returneth in to the self-same spot. And much of madness and more of sin, and horror the soul of the plot. Your hands have crafted quite a likeness to my words, my love. They look exactly as I imagined them.
This poem, you've named the conqueror worm. Why have you written it? What inspired you?
These words, these images I've seen in my dreams since I was very small.
They're a kind of dark enigma that you've carried with you.
Yes.
These dreams would terrify me, but also comfort me. In this phantasm, I was neither the angel observing, nor one of the mimes performing. I was...
The phantom.
Perhaps. It was only a girl's foolishness, I suppose.
Or a wise woman's insight into the plight of modern man.
Bless you, my love. You've always known what to say to help me forget mine fears in thy presence.
And what are thy fears, my love? Who is this hidden daemon that torments thee? Tell me, please.
I am trapped within this dream, but I am awake. Awake in this dream that imprisons me, keeps me from you.
That she loved me, I should not have doubted. Within a heart such as hers, love would have reigned no ordinary passion. After some years, I beheld my well-grounded expectations take wings to themselves and fly away. Without Ligeia, I was but a child, groping and benighted, wanting the radiant luster of her eyes. And now those eyes shone less and less frequently. Ligeia grew ill.
My most precious husband, will thou perform for me one last request?
What is thy bidding?
Look into my eyes, my love, and say for me these final verses of my conqueror worm.
As you wish. Lo, 'tis a gala night, within the lonesome latter years. An angel throng, bewinged, bedight, in veils and drowned in tears, sit in a theater to see a play of hopes and fears, while the orchestra breathes fitfully the music of the spheres. Mimes in the form of God on high mutter and mumble low, and hither and thither fly mere puppets, they who come and go at the bidding of vast, formless things that shift the scenery to and fro, flapping from out their condor wings. Invisible woe.
My love, what shadow doth befall me?
That motley drama, oh, be sure it shall not be forgotten. Its phantom chased forevermore by a crowd that sees it not. Through a circle that ever returneth into the self-same spot, in much of madness, and more of sin, and horror the soul of the plot.
What shadow hath befallen me?
But see, but see amid the mimic root, crawling shape intrude, a blood-red thing that writhes from out the scenic solitude. It writhes, with mortal pegs the mimes become its food. Its seraph sob in vermin fangs, in human gore imbued. Out! Out are all the lights, out all. And over each quivering form the curtain, a funeral pall, comes with the rushing of a storm, while the angels, all pallid and wan, uprising, unveiling affirm that this play is the tragedy. Man.
Oh God, oh Divine Father, shall these things be undeviatingly so? Shall this conqueror be not once conquered? Are we not part and parcel in thee? Who knoweth the mysteries of the will with its vigor? Man doth not yield him to the angels, nor unto death utterly.
Save only through the weakness of his feeble will.
This play is the tragedy, man, and its hero.
In spirit, I now struggled with the grim Azrael. Her pale fingers became of the transparent waxen hue of the grave, and I saw that she must soon die. And the struggles of my now deceased wife were, to my astonishment, even more energetic than mine own. She died, and I, crushed into the very dust with sorrow, could no longer endure the lonely desolation of my dwelling. I had become a bounden slave within the trammels of opium, and my nefarious addiction had taken a coloring to my dreams.
How had I deserved to be so blessed by the idolatry of one so ethereal, and thy more than womanly abandonment to a love so unmerited, so unworthily bestowed? I have now been cursed.
It writhes, the mimes become its food.
What devilry is this? Hast thou come? Oh!
No late libation or incense fume avails to save from a ruthless doom. The man who is angered through mad desire, the diabolical powers that burn, but need no fire.
Fie upon thee, canvas. Fie upon thou that makes a demon's mockery of my beloved.
in seraph sob and vermin fangs in human gore imbued. Out! Are all the lights out? All? And over each quivering form the curtain.
Silence! Remove thy hideous disease from my... Diabolical powers. It is not what it appears to be.
Thy flesh breeds corruption, my love.
Ligeia.
Hast thou forgotten thy wife? Found a new soulmate, have you?
Ligeia, forgive me. Thou wast my opium dream. I despair the loss of thee, but cannot bear the sight of thee, for shame of what I have now become.
The spirit is willing.
Trapped within this dream, but I am awake, awake in this dream that imprisons me and keeps me from you.
Out. Are all the lights out? All. And over each quivering form, curtain, funeral pall. Comes down like the rushing of a storm, and thy angels, all pallid and wan, uprising, unveiling, affirm that this play is the tragedy man, and its hero, the conqueror worm. Ligeia!
Thy addiction has demon now become. Thy demons will consume thee, will consume me, if thou dost not find salvation for thine soul.
Tis only a wounded man's tonic, an aroma of sweet forgetfulness, and a spiritual escape from this present pain. Tis only this and nothing more.
Thou surrenders thy soul to the devil's aroma, and poisons thy mind with the poppy of Beelzebub.
It cannot be as fatal as you say.
Lift thy heart's burden through a prayer of mourning, and not by this serpent's kiss.
Ligeia! Ligeia. I keep seeing her. But I feel her overwhelming presence all around me.
Hush now. You just need your rest.
Rowena,
Yes, sir?
you have nursed me through a very dark time. And you have not abandoned me to my despair. I thank you, sweet girl, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank God, first of all. It is He who watches over you, over all of us.
God. Does God love man? Or only pity him?
To him,
We must seem as tiny insects with lives of no consequence. As dust to be snuffed out after a brief moment of happiness. Amidst an endless abyss of despair.
Your imagination swells your despair to the point of madness. That is the inner torment of the artist, isn't it? This tendency to blend the real and the imagined. Your precious gift is also your greatest burden. You must let your mind rest now. Just a moment, would you please?
of course, Lady Rowena. Thank you.
Your fever has broken, and hopefully your strength will return soon. You'll be able to continue your work in just a few days, God willing.
My work has been most consuming, and I'm not even sure if this most recent gallery is worth my continued attention.
It is most peculiar.
It is not from my own imagination that these images spring, but from my wife. She was tormented by something unspeakable. Whatever it was, it kept her from my affections and surrounded her like an invisible fortress, an impenetrable fortress, nameless, immaterial, demonic.
I'm sure it was just a case of nerves. Many brilliant minds have violent struggles with them.
Why? Why must the beautiful and gifted be so tormented and transgressed?
Some temperaments have great difficulties with the many gifts they've been given. Their successes, their creations, their knowledge can become a kind of prison, trapped within a false imagination they've crafted for themselves.
I understand not what you say.
Grief is not just the mourning of what has been lost. It is also the predicament of those who were never able to find their way outside of themselves. We all retreat within ourselves at times, especially when we lose that which we loved most. But this is a very temporary world, where everything that comes into being must eventually pass away. But there are those who never accept this, and just continue to mourn until they've isolated themselves completely in an invisible chamber of grief, never coming out.
And you think this is what happened to my Ligeia?
Perhaps. If she were as tormented as you say, she may have seen herself as beyond God's providence.
Yes, this may be so, but why? She felt no past guilt or lament.
But she saw no cure for man's tragic predicament either. Her poem condemns mankind as a whole to the worms of the grave with no hope of salvation.
So her sin then is lyric genocide? A mass condemnation of all she loved?
We shouldn't talk about this anymore. It is upsetting you.
No. It's helping me greatly. To understand many perplexities of her character. Isn't that what it means to love someone? To uncover the beloved's many prisons, as you said. And to free the soul from itself.
Through unyielding love.
And also for your own?
Mine is of a more physical nature and must be addressed by a physician. Or a nurse.
No, it is the exact same sickness. When you choose to love someone for their angelic qualities, their demons follow close behind. Our souls are a tragic mixture of good and evil, and when that is joined with another soul, both our demons and our angels pass from one to the other. The war between angels and demons wages its most bloody duels within the hearts of two souls in love. For that is the price that is always at stake. Demons care not for our many worldly pleasures, only use them to take possession of what we should value most, but often value least.
Our souls.
Yes.
Such insight have I never seen in one so meek. It is extraordinary.
Thou hast nursed me and brought me back from this false prison of my own despair. I have a request of you, Lady Rowena.
What? Is thy bidding, good sir?
A portrait. A portrait of you sitting in the library, basking in the light of day. I think it would be most beautiful. and it would please me greatly. Please say you will consent to this. It would be my honor. Thou art a most agreeable subject, Lady Rowena. I should be finished much quicker than anticipated.
I am honored to have one made of me, sir. Never thought I could ever afford one myself. Thank you.
Think of it as an homage to your loving and tender care for me. Again, I thank you. And now, I present you with your immortal reflection. And may I make a wish that thy wisdom and kindness forever imprint themselves on any and all who gaze upon this likeness, sweet, angelic, and sancted Lady Rowena.
It's very gothic, realistic, and symbolic too. The two creatures?
The warring angel and demon you so cleverly alluded to. I thought it only fitting to portray them in your portrait.
Yes, but you have not portrayed which is the stronger. Why?
I do not know, my lady.
These demons spring from thy addiction to opium's fatal bliss. Overwhelming grief for your lost love magnifies thy sickness. Thou needs a new tonic to soothe thee, one not to be inhaled for the mind's pleasure. A new soul to join with thee and give thee new angels to watch over thee.
And whose soul should I join with mine, Lady Rowena?
I cannot decide that for you. Your heart must tell you.
My heart longs for thee more with every word that escapes thy lips. Thou art like a holy temple, pouring out the ecstasy of the divine to me. I wish to enter this holy temple and escape my demons forevermore. Marry me, Lady Rowena. Marry me and cure me of my demons. Marry me. Marry me and quell my demons with thy angels forevermore.
I cannot possibly.
But thou art so holy. So why? In thee I find divine solace. In thee I wish to fall away from my babble of despair, never to return.
I will. I shall. Sweet husband.
My holy and precious bride, how my soul longs for thee in thy wedding chamber.
I am yours now, my love. Will thou be with me now, this night?
Yes.
I ask only one condition.
Ask anything and it shall be yours.
I want our chamber blessed by a holy man of God. There's a darkness here, my love. I can feel it, watching me.
This present darkness, you confess, haunts us only in our minds. You've cured me of my hallucinogenic demons. Therefore, we have nothing to fear.
I still must insist, my love.
My precious Rowena, thou hast nothing to fear but these shadows dancing on the walls. No evil dwells here.
You've had such a strain with our betrothal, and my words have only upset you all the more.
Forgive me, my love. I shall speak of it no more. Shall we now retire, as husband and wife?
Yes, my love. My sweet and holy temple. Let us now explore these heavenly spheres and leave this cursed mortal plane far behind.
Now my individual soul shall be so no longer. My solitary self will soon die, to be reborn a hybrid eros of our two masculine and feminine souls.
Masculine and feminine our souls shall no longer be, but an eternal lunar eclipse of I and thee.
The war of angels and demons now begins its fatal genocide within I and thee. Pray that we do not fall victim amidst their warring angelic tribes.
Neither angel nor demon shall come upon us now, except only in our dreams.
And strange, oh strangest mystery of all, I found in the commonest objects of the universe. I felt it in the ocean, in a rapidly growing vine, in the look of those lying in eternal slumber within an open coffin. And thus, how frequently, in my intense scrutiny of Ligeia's eyes, have I felt approaching the full knowledge of their expression, felt it approaching, yet not quite be mine, and so at length entirely depart. I derived from many existences in the material world a sentiment such as I felt always aroused within me by her large and luminous orbs. Yet not the more could I define that sentiment, or analyze, or even steadily view it.
My husband loves thee even still. Yet I know he desires me, and my happiness in his heart. Yet I cannot help but fear that thine soul is still tormented by whatever unseen force plagued thee in this life. That unseen force has now locked its talons deep within me, closing in, tormenting me. I do not know if I am strong enough to face such evil.
Keep thou our souls from schemes of crime, nor guilt remorseful let them know.
What is it, my lady? Did I startle thee?
Something torments me. Here. I know not why, but that same unnamed darkness that stole thy Ligeia is here with me now.
My many opium-induced fantasies disarm thy reason.
You have nothing to fear, my lady.
I am trapped within this dream, but I'm awake in this dream that imprisons me and keeps me from you.
Oh, what evil hath befallen my sweet love? Thou stood idle as my lovely Ligeia was swept away from this life. Hast thou now come to quell this precious life for my sweet and wise Rowena?
State thy business.
Not since the ancient era of Jacob has a man so boldly challenged my reign in this mortal realm. Yet the sheep-skinned herder did so out of a hero's virtue, not from a damaged soul drunken by the trammels of opium.
Aren't all men damaged souls from the beginning?
A soul is not saved by its beginning, but by what it chooses to pursue as its end. For all men pursue their own ends, and tragically, that end
is often a violent one.
Please, O heavenly messenger, let this not be true of my precious Rowena. Surely no sinful fault thou wilt find in her. She is as stainless as the greatest of thy community.
Thou speakest to me of Rowena, yet thy heart screams of this lovely siren. Thou art a man torn by 1,000 passions.
Yet even within this emotional labyrinth, thy heart has not lost its central desire. Dost thou believe Ligeia to be damned?
Ligeia is dead.
Smitten by the uncaring and indifferent idleness of thy fancy.
Thou surrenders thy love too easily, mortal man. Thy soul is in great peril. The shadows of thine addictions have demons now become.
And this demon seeks to poison thy beloved, as the fiery serpents quelled the rebellious Israelites in the desert.
This diabolical nemesis will consume her gentle shell, leaving her soul a violated prisoner within, and thee a victim of his torments.
That serpent-faced mime
is none other than Nehushtan, the bronze-faced serpent of Moses from the lawgiver's pole. He inspired many a scribe in Judea to follow in his wickedness, crafting a secret pagan theology in the midst of the holy temple. He was also deeply in love with your Ligeia. It is he and his false theology of despair that took her from you, and which now threatens this saintly child you hold so dear.
How can I stand against such a powerful nemesis? I am no holy man. No priestly authority resides in me.
Dost thou wish Rowena to be saved?
Aye.
Very well.
But this battle between angel and demon raging within her is not just for the salvation of her own soul, but also yours. Canst thou not see that when one succumbs to addiction, thy demons harm not only thyself, but cause even more fatal harm to those one loves? Such is the price of thine affection for the opium pipe.
My dear husband, what a foolish victim I've become. Soon I will be leaving thee. A violent struggle is waging within me. I can feel it encircling me now. I always thought there would be more time, that I would bear thee children and care for them, and grow old wrapped in thine arms. But now mine end is near.
Rowena, you were speaking nonsense.
I speak from the heart, my love.
Let me get thee a glass of the green fairy. That will soothe thee.
Please don't leave me alone.
I'll just be going to that table a few feet away. I'll be back in a moment.
This will ease your nerves. Rowena?
My love, I'm falling.
Holy Mother of God, what has befallen my Rowena? This never-ending war between angels and demons now wages itself within the soul of my young wife. Thy conqueror worm. These wild visions, opium enchanted, flittering like shadows before me. The night is finally waning, and I turn my gaze to the pallid, rigid figure upon the bed.
For many precious souls have I engaged in mortal combat with mine enemy. Though the demon's treachery hath robbed thee of physical immortality, my allegiance to thee shall preserve thy spirit indefinitely. Embalm her now I must. Yet the one thy heart yearns for, with a love that only heaven fathoms, shall be with thee soon enough.
precious soul thou wast. Now we must both depart and leave this sufferer behind forevermore.
It might have been midnight when a sob, low, gentle, but very distinct, startled me from my reverie.
I am trapped within this dream.
I felt that it came from the bed of ebony, the bed of death. I listened in an agony of superstitious terror, but there was no repetition of the sound.
Kneeling here, with a bosom full of bitter thoughts of the one and only supremely beloved,
I remain gazing upon the body of Lady Rowena.
Twice has my soul been ablaze with the fire of Eros, and twice has my yearning led me to this tormented isolation. Curse thine heart for wanting that only the gods may enjoy. Eternity with one's beloved is a sick man's approach. Longing for those who can no longer endure the cruelties of this world has now become.
I strained my vision to detect any motion in the corpse.
Why does thy heart weep, my love?
But there was not the slightest perceptible. Yet I could not have been deceived. I had heard the noise, however faint, and my soul was awakened within me.
Here then at least. Can I ever be mistaken? These are the full and the black, the wild eyes of my lost love. Ligeia, my lady.
My trammels of opium have imprisoned me within this labyrinth of demonic phantasms. Thy pure and precious heart has stopped its mortal pulse, taken all meaning from my life. Thou will forever sleep, but within this transparent tomb, thou will be free from thy conqueror world. Thou will remain forever young, and shall be heaven's sculpture of a pure and brilliant spirit, to haunt the imaginings of young men forevermore.
Look into my eyes, my love.
Even now, my imagination tricks me. I shall let it. I shall gaze upon thee 1,000 times over. To see thy lips take a breath, thy brows to crease. My insanity in the grasp of opium shall be my final attachment to thine Holy Spirit. Leagues away from here, but its shell, my eternal pendant of thy perfection.
My spirit is with thee now, and like me thou art now severed from the land of the living. Thou hast been immersed in the sin of an addict's idolatry. Thine heart has freed thee from the chains of opium and brought thee back to me.
Both of thy souls immortally trapped within Dante's limbo. Hell is no place for thee, yet thy mortal sin of idolatry must not go without punishment. Here within this catacomb, thy souls will remain, unworthy of heaven's bright celestial city. Lost souls you are. Yet each will find thee wrapped within the arms of the other. This is thy eternal punishment. Or perhaps, if one may say it, thy reward.